Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
And welcome to episode 6 of Our Adventures and Mousecapades.
Episode 6.
Woohoo!
All right. Let's do this thing. So we're going to pick up where we left off from last time and continue on our trip back in 2010 in December, where we went on a 7-night cruise into the Eastern Caribbean and had a grand old time.
Yes.
And then we got back to Port Canaveral, and our daughter was not aware that we were going to go spend some time.
She was very sad that we were on our way to the airport to go home.
I know.
But we were not.
Nope. So Kaitlyn was 5.5. Looking back on it, like, she was just so gullible. But, I mean, we let her along too.
We did, yeah.
Do you have any guilt about that?
No.
Okay, good. Me either.
So like you said, we surprise our kids with trips a lot.
Yeah.
One of the things that we are blessed to be able to do. And I've asked a couple of times if it is okay that we do that. Are they okay with us springing it on them last minute?
Yeah.
And both of them have said, yes, we are definitely okay with you doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, because there have been a couple instances, like one of them we'll talk about later, our Aulani trip, where we were supposed to be bringing them to school that morning, but we went to the airport instead and thoroughly confused the children until we told them what we were doing.
Yeah. I don't think Kaitlyn even realized what we were doing until, well, she knew figured out we were going to the airport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, it was our first trip, and we will talk about that
in
an upcoming one. But yes, we love surprising our kids with our vacation trips.
Yeah.
And we've done it multiple times. You'd think they'd learn, but
nope.
I mean, they know when we go on trips, and they know it's usually Disney at this point. They know that, but back in the early days, they didn't know quite as much.
Yeah. So we got off the ship from our 7-night adventure in the Eastern Caribbean. And we took the bus, the Mickey bus.
The Magical Express.
Yes, the Mickey bus from the Mickey boat to the Mickey place.
Yes.
It took us to, we had a reservation at Contemporary Resort. Again, this is pre-Disney Vacation Club ownership. So we just had a nice, room, king bed with a day bed in it with a lake view. We didn't want to pay for a theme park view. And it was fine because...
Yeah, and we wanted to stay in the Contemporary. We wanted to be in the monorail,
right, on
one of the monorail resorts, and neither of us had stayed there before.
Mm-mm.
Really liked it. We'll talk a little bit more about the hotel later, but yeah, we told Kaitlyn that we had a later flight, so we just had a layover until our bus to the airport.
Technically, not inaccurate.
True.
It was a later flight.
It was a later flight. Yeah,
it was later in the day. And a later day. And I guess it's a layover, right?
Yes, it is an extremely long layover.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we checked our bags in with Bell Services.
And we kind of just hung out a little bit at the Contemporary. Again, it was Christmas time. They had the gingerbread house out there in the park, and or not in the park, but there in the Contemporary, and it was really cool. And so we then got on a bus, and I think Kaitlyn just thought, like, okay, here's, I guess, the bus to the airport.
Yep.
And it was not a bus to the airport. It was the bus over to Hollywood Studios. I mean, Alicia and I were looking at each other like,
when is she going to figure it out?
She's got to figure this out soon. Like we're clearly not going to the airport. It said Hollywood Studios on the sign.
I think I remember her asking, like, what are we doing? And we're like, oh, we're just picking more people up for airport. Because I remember it stopped at Pop Century somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And she was thoroughly confused. It's like, oh, we've just got to pick up more people before we get to where we're going.
So we eventually got to the Hollywood Studios, the bus drop off. And she wasn't sure. I mean, she's a small child. Yeah,
she trusts her parents very much, and we gave her no indication at all that we were going to the parks. So she just went along with the ride.
Right.
And we got off the bus, and she's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
and
I picked her up so she could see over people, and pointed out the fact that there in front of us was the giant sorcerer Mickey hat.
And she still didn't get it. She's like, "Oh, that's really cool." And I'm like, "We're going to go in there now." And then she freaked out. She was so excited that we were going to the parks. She was so happy. I mean, we've got a picture of her. She was moving around so fast, it's just a blur.
Yeah. She basically had this like meltdown of joy in my arms. That was cool. That was very, very cool. And then on this trip, we were there, we had 3 days in the parks. And this was the, last time when we had gone, 15 months before with my folks, we just went and kind of did stuff.
Yeah.
This time and paid for food on our own.
Yeah.
This time we did the deluxe dining plan. And as I went through, our notes of what we had done and the reservations we had and looking at some of the pictures, like, holy cow, we used the heck out of the dining plan.
And we did, like you said, we did our research a little bit ahead of this. And I had seen if we were going to do the deluxe dining plan, we had to do sit down restaurants to get the most out of it. And we kind of like doing that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Quick service is fine and we will do it, but we prefer doing table service restaurants. We always have, and we probably always will.
And it takes time out of the park day.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't know. It's part of us doing Disney.
Mm-hmm.
We just typically have sit down meals.
And we usually go for longer amounts of time, so it makes sense for us to do table. Now this one is a shorter trip, and we have done shorter trips.
Right. But we like to do, if we can
do like to do the long ones.
We'll be there all day.
Mm-hmm.
If we're there, it's not uncommon for us to do open to close or really close to it.
Yes.
And so sit down meal is kind of a nice break in the middle of the day.
This is true.
Yeah.
And in Florida weather, it's always good to take a break from the weather there. It's hot there.
Ironically, this trip was not.
This trip was not. Yes.
So we had just been in the Caribbean for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And when we had left Seattle, everything looked like it was going to be nice and warm and everything.
Yep.
And when we got to Disney World and started looking at the weather, we were like, no, it is not going to be warm.
Yes, it's going to be literally freezing in Florida.
Yeah.
And we did not have any cold weather gear with us.
I think we had like light jackets.
We had light jackets. I don't think there was any sweaters or anything. No. Anyway, we will get to that.
Indeed. Yeah, so we got there and we had lunch at the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater.
Yes,
over in kind of the back area.
Commissary Lane. Yeah, it's a fun restaurant. The food was it was okay. There's nothing really to write home about on that. You're there for the theming of it. I will say we are large people, Nathan and I, and we sat in one of the car things and it was a little too cozy for us. I think if we go again, well, actually, I don't think we'd be able to get in those right now. I think they have tables available too, if you want.
Honestly, I think we would eat elsewhere.
Yeah. The meal wasn't, it was food. It was okay. Yeah. It wasn't super good. But like I said, you go there for the theming. You go there to sit in the cars if you want to sit in the cars. You go there to watch the old cheesy sci-fi
B movies
that they have up there. Yeah. It was kind of cool.
And when Alicia says the food wasn't, it's not that it wasn't good. It wasn't anything to write home about.
Yeah.
It was food.
It's your typical park food fare.
Yeah. So, and of course, after lunch, we had to go see Lights, Motors, Action, Extreme Stunt Show.
Yes.
Because, duh.
So many pictures of this. When I was putting together an album for this, I'm like, wow, we took a lot of pictures of this.
We could probably recreate the whole show between the trip we did the year before and this one.
And subsequent trips, I am sure.
We've got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But It's a stunt show with vehicles and explosions, and it's just fun.
Yeah. And it's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore. No.
It is now Batu.
Yeah. And we've got our picture in front of the hat, the sorcerer's hat, which isn't there anymore either.
No. But we did Photo Pass.
Yes.
So when we were in the parks, we were able to, take advantage of all the photographers that they have around.
Yeah.
Which was really kind of nice.
I really love the PhotoPass. PhotoPass, for those of you that don't know, is a service that you can pay for in the parks or ahead of time. It is less expensive if you pay for it ahead of time. I think it has to be like 10 days ahead of time. I don't know. I believe it's around $150 to do the PhotoPass. And you get all the photos that they take while you're there. When you're at the parks, there are specific photographers, like park photographers, and sometimes you'll get regular shots of like you in front of the castle or you in front of any specific landmark area in the parks.
Like the Sorcerer's Hat?
Like the Sorcerer's Hat. They also have something called magic shots, which is really neat. Like we have one of Kaitlyn cupping her hands and looking surprised. And then when you go back and look at the pictures, Tinkerbell standing in her hand, they do magic shots like that too.
Yep.
And you can really get your money's worth, more than your money's worth, because photography is expensive.
Yes.
Especially if you have somebody that knows what they're doing.
And it's nice to actually be in all of your pictures.
Yes, that's true.
So it's all of us are actually in the picture. It's not like, me always taking pictures of the girls or Alicia taking a picture of Kaitlyn and I or Sterling and I. Like, we're all in them.
Yep.
It's fun. And those cast members, the photographers they're fun. Like, if you have a good personality and, you get what you put into it, don't treat them like they're a person pushing a button. They're people to have a quick little, chat. Hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, and something I totally forgot to mention in our last episode about the cruise is they have something similar. They have a PhotoPass package for the cruises too.
Yes.
Those can vary in price depending upon the length of your cruise. And I would highly, highly recommend getting a PhotoPass for the cruise because they will have backdrops up, like plain white backdrops, black backdrops, sparkly backdrops, themed backdrops. And you can go in and take as many pictures or go in as many times and have pictures taken. You can have really nice family portraits done with and without characters. Like when the backdrops are up, sometimes there's no characters there. So you just get you and your family.
Right. Yeah. It's a fantastic way to, especially if you're on Formal Night or something like that, you have a chance to have a family portrait taken.
Yep.
Yeah, take advantage of those things.
Really good for Christmas cards too. If you are people that do that, we are not, but we have some really nice Christmas card pictures. If we ever did that,
that's right. We've always said that we should do that.
We just never do it.
And life gets busy for us, especially around the holidays.
Very involved at church doing singing and music and playing and stuff.
The last 4 or 5 weeks of the year are just hectic.
Yes.
So it gets fun. The other thing I'll quickly mention about PhotoPass, you get pictures that you didn't take as well. So
stock photos. You get a lot of stock photos of the characters and just locations. Like they'll have the castle and fireworks behind the castle or Spaceship Earth and, stuff like that. It's really whatever park you're in.
Yeah.
And characters.
They do a really great, you get your money's worth out of all
I
that.
think you do. Yeah. You do have to put some effort into like going to the photographers and getting that done. But in my opinion, it is well worth it to get a PhotoPass.
Absolutely. And there are PhotoPass photographers all over the place. They're obvious. Like they're people in a photography vest, a nice camera around there. Like it's obvious. You will find them.
I think they may actually be marked on the park maps as well. Like there's specific places where there's always a PhotoPass photographer.
There's always going to be PhotoPass on Main Street, USA. And then in the hub right in front of the castle, there's going to be
your main areas,
Yeah.
there's going to be people there.
Yeah.
And they're usually there with characters too. When the character meet and greets are up and running, they'll have a photographer there sometimes too.
Yes, absolutely. Which is fantastic because then when you go see Mickey Mouse, then your whole family gets to be in the picture too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the lowdown on the photo pass. A couple of other things that we did that day was we did Toy Story Mania. I think that may have been the first time we ever did
Yeah, I think you're
Toy
right.
Story Mania. I think it was way too long the last time.
Yeah, when
And
there
we
with
were blown away by the Mr. Potato Man animatronic.
Yes.
It was so cool. I can't
Mr.
remember.
Potato Head.
Oh my gosh, I said Mr. Potato Man.
Yes.
Yes. Just Potato Head. I think it's just Potato Head now.
Oh, whatever.
They got rid of the Mr. and Mrs. And I can't remember if he did it at that time or not. I think he did. He like takes his ear
Yeah.
out of his head
Yeah.
and then puts it back in.
And this was before they had Toy Story Land back there. So
Yeah.
this is the original setup for the ride. Basically, for those of you in the know, when they built Toy Story Land, they basically flipped the queue almost like backwards
Yeah.
for this ride for Toy Story Mania.
Enter in the back part of the ride area now.
Right. Which is where Toy Story Land
Yes.
is. Anyhow, it's always fun because you go through the queue these days and you can like, oh, that's where the entrance used to be. And,
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun.
I see we have pictures with Mater and Lightning McQueen again. Of course. Still
Of course.
movie cars, still her favorite then.
We did the great movie ride.
Did the great movie ride. I know we've talked about this before. I don't remember it very much.
I don't either.
I know people absolutely love it, but we never went on it enough for us to really get a feel for liking it or not liking it. Or,
Fall in love with it.
yeah, exactly.
It wasn't horrible. I don't remember hating it.
Yeah. And it looks like we did Phantasmic that evening,
We did.
and we had dinner at Brown Derby.
Yes.
I don't remember if we had dinner before Phantasmic or after.
I don't either. I think it was after, just based on when the pictures
Yeah.
occur. And I think this is perhaps the first picture of food I ever took.
The wine flight.
Yes.
You had a wine flight.
And it was 3 rather healthy pours of
Oh,
wine.
yeah. Those are big.
Yeah. But it was, the reason I took a picture was they actually had a almost like a placemat printed in front of, talking about each of the 3 selections.
Yeah.
So I wanted to remember that. I don't remember that, but I do because it's
In there.
It's in there.
It says you had the Maryland Merlot,
That's right.
the McMurray Ranch Pinot Noir, and the Greg Norman Estate Shiraz.
Right. This was the wine flight of the stars.
Huh.
Or
Something.
that's what it said.
I do not drink wine. I do not like wine. I have tried. I just don't like it. I don't like beer either.
I still love you.
That's good.
I got you to like one of the bourbons I have.
Well, that's not wine or beer.
I know, but I'm trying to.
I'm okay with bourbon. I don't like scotch very much, though.
I'm reaching out. I'm trying to just partner with you
Okay.
or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we both like chocolate martinis.
We do both like chocolate martinis. Only if they're on the Wonder there. Well,
I'm willing to have one elsewhere, but there is a certain.
they taste better if they're on a Disney cruise ship.
They taste better when they're on the Wonder with one of the bar crew that we know.
Yes, that's true.
Hi, guys.
And let's see, we went back to our room that night and we were able to see the electrical water pageant from our room.
Which completely surprised me. I don't know if I really even knew about it before.
I know I'd heard about it, but I didn't really know what it was. It was a nice, whimsical surprise.
Yeah.
It's a water pageant that's been around since the park opened.
Right.
They had it, it just goes around the Seven Seas Lagoon. I think that's the right name of it. And it's just a little parade of electrical lights.
It's a bunch of
it's flotillas with a light show on it, basically.
Yeah. And some very futuristic, quote unquote, synth music. And
Yeah.
it's, just do yourself a favor, find a YouTube video of it if you don't know what we're talking about. It's fun. It's a thing.
It's
a Disney thing.
cheesy and kitschy and nostalgic and really fun.
Absolutely.
And we saw it this past August when we went. We saw it again from our room, but right after we left, they added a 50th anniversary float to it as well.
That's right. We missed that one.
Yep.
Hey, we'll have to go back.
We'll have to go back.
See, this is why we go to Disney so much.
It changes, and we got to see all the new stuff.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the only reason.
The only reason.
Mm-hmm.
Not really the only reason.
No.
So the next day, we went to Animal Kingdom. It was a little cooler this day, so we actually had to put on some jackets.
We had our light jackets with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We started out, we had breakfast at Wave in the Contemporary, which just in the last several months was completely refurbished and is now Steakhouse 71.
Which we will be trying.
Oh, absolutely.
In August, definitely.
Absolutely. The Wave, to my recollection, was pretty decent food.
Yeah, I remember it being decent food, good food. But the decor, I think somebody else said it reminded them of like a car showcase or something like that.
It's a 1970s car dealership.
Car dealership, yeah.
It was long in the tooth, even, a decade or 12 years ago.
But the food was good.
The food was good. The food was absolutely good. So, of course, we, going to Animal Kingdom, the first thing that we did was hit the safari. Again, the animals are...
First thing in the morning,
Yep.
go to the safari.
Yep. The animals are much more active when it's cooler. They're
Yep.
just getting fed first thing. We saw all sorts of... there was a ton of flamingos that were out and rhinoceros. We had a giraffe come right up to the truck, like really close to the truck and say hello. The antelope were playing. I didn't see any deer, but the antelope were playing on the range.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Nope.
We saw some pachyderms. We saw a baby elephant, and it was walking.
Did the baby elephant walk?
Baby elephant walk. Hi, we're music nerds.
I could sing it, but you don't want to hear me sing. Sorry.
No, that'd be a copyright infringement. I don't want to get a hit. Anyhow, yeah, there's the cutest little baby elephant.
Little baby elephant. Very nice.
And Mama. And,
Yep.
and Papa, who was down by the pool there, by the lake. And there was one of the lionesses was up on the rock, not meowing like last time. But it was a good safari.
It's always nice to take the safari.
Yeah.
The safari ride.
Absolutely. We saw Festival of the Lion King. We got some more PhotoPass stuff done. We have a picture of Kaitlyn cuddling a baby Simba.
From the magic shot.
From the magic shot, yeah. And we have, again, from the PhotoPass, they gave us pictures that we weren't in and that we didn't take. So we have character pictures of Pluto and Goofy and Mickey and Minnie and their safari outfits.
Safari outfits, yeah.
Out in front of the Tree of Life. We went back and did the tiger walk, which Kaitlyn loved, and the tiger actually came right up to the window.
Right up close, which is neat to see.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we did Alicia's favorite thing, which was went and hung out with some birds.
Yep.
And that was
they had a show. Like there was a show that they did, Feathered Friends in Flight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did research because there's no way I was going to remember that. Let's see. We had lunch at Tusker House. We don't have any pictures of that.
Nope.
But we had a reservation that was in our OneNote from back then. So
we know we did it.
We know we did it. And then after lunch, we decided to see if we could go ride the Expedition Everest. Legend of the Forbidden Mountain.
And Kaitlyn
TM
wanted to go on a roller coaster ride.
Yes.
She wanted to go on a roller coaster ride.
She kept asking and kept
asking. And we were a little, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And she very much wanted to go. So we got in the line. It was not a short line.
No, it wasn't horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't a short line, maybe 30 minutes or so. And the closer we got, the more anxious Kaitlyn got. And she's like, I don't know. And we were literally right about to get on. And she's like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, you were right here. I will be next to you the whole time.
Yeah, let's go.
You can hold my hand. It's okay. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
we ended up kind of forcing her.
just saying you're here, you need to do it.
Right. You
It's
made a
okay.
commitment.
Yeah.
Try it once.
And kids sometimes have a tendency to psych themselves out.
Oh yeah. Kaitlyn does that all the time. She still does that.
Yeah.
I mean, she may get that from me, so it's fine.
So we strongly suggested that she go through with it.
Right.
And she cried like the whole time.
I remember I was behind you guys.
Yeah.
And like Kaitlyn buried herself in your side.
Yeah. She wasn't visible pretty much for the whole thing. So we got out, and as a consolation prize, I guess, we got her a little stuffed Yeti from the store.
And we were just like effusive of, good for you for doing it.
Yeah.
You made
it.
You
Good
tried.
job. Yeah.
Great job.
Here's your consolation Yeti.
Right. Which we're not those kind of parents.
Yeah.
But the Yeti was pretty freaking cute.
Yeah. And then she wanted to go on it again.
Right. She looked up at me and she's like, "Can I go again?" And we're like,
"What?"
"Yep, let's go."
Yeah. And
that was a shorter line.
Yeah.
That was almost a walk-on, if I remember correctly.
And she was fine with it after that.
Yeah, we have pictures of her high-fiving you in the line in the queue.
So weird.
Yeah.
She like we said, I think she psyched herself out.
Yep.
And then maybe after going through it, realized, hey, this isn't that bad.
Yeah. And then that was it. Like that
was
was
it. And she was fine.
That was the switch flipped.
Yep.
And any roller coaster that she was tall enough to go on, we were going on.
Yep.
Yeah. That was very cool. We got some photos in front of the Tree of Life, and that's where we have our Tinkerbell picture.
Oh, yeah, Tinkerbell in the palm picture.
Yeah. We saw Baloo and King Louie.
Did we do Very Merry that night?
We did indeed. So we had dinner at Sanaa.
Oh, at Animal Kingdom Resort.
Yes.
Or
yes.
Lodge, sorry.
Yes.
Lodge. That night, we went to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Yes.
This was, I believe, the first time we've done Disney for the holidays.
Yeah, it was.
And seeing all the Christmas decorations, the trees up, it's just magical. It's a beautiful thing. And it was nighttime when we went. Very Merry Christmas Party is a ticketed event. It's separate from your park admission, additional cost. And you have like wristbands to get in or something.
Yeah.
But it was just all lit up for nighttime. Very beautiful, very beautiful.
We scored amazing spot on Main Street USA for the parade. And it was a huge parade.
Yeah.
All sorts of characters and floats. And the Toy Soldier Band. I love the Toy Soldier Band.
Sterling thinks they're very creepy. So it's people dressed up as toy soldiers.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. They have a head on that looks like a painted toy soldier, and there's a hole in the head for the mouth where they put the mouthpieces for the trumpets that they play.
Yeah. And they have their feet are like big, plastic boots, if you will. And they're out, stomp, 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 stomp,
Yep.
stomp. Oh,
It's really neat.
I love that band. That band is everything.
Oh, we got to see Cinderella's carriage too. They had that all lit up and pretty, and they had the horses in front of it pulling it. It was a big parade. I see gingerbread men. Oh, Sterling thinks those are creepy too for some reason. The gingerbread men, the reindeer.
Yeah, the dancing reindeer.
The dancing reindeer on the two legs. And of course, it's Christmas time, and the castle has all these lights all over it.
Yeah.
The icicle drippy lights on it. It looks amazing and beautiful.
And we actually saw the fireworks show for the Very Merry.
Oh yeah,
from the hub.
From the hub, yeah.
I don't know how we did that. I think we just lucked into it.
It was colder. I wonder if attendance dropped off because of that, or it just wasn't an evening that was sold out or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't remember there being a lot of crowds for it.
It was getting colder.
Yeah.
In fact, that afternoon, I remember, I think after dinner and before Very Merry, or maybe it was after Very Merry, but we had been watching the weather. And so we knew that we needed to go shopping for jackets and hats and all the cold weather gear, if you will, from the merchandise shops before the next day.
Yes.
Because we knew, because it was going to be like in the low to mid 30s.
We went shopping that evening, didn't we,
Yeah.
for stuff? And Disney had I think they had just put out the cold weather gear, and we went in and found stuff because we didn't know where else we would get it. So we got,
well, and we knew it was going to sell out like
Yeah.
instantly when people got up the next morning and
Yeah.
it was 32 degrees.
yeah, we got gloves. I got a nice fleece lined jacket. Nathan got a nice jacket. It had 71 on it, I think.
Yeah, it's a big zip up
Yeah.
jacket with all sorts of patches and things all over it. And I found a hat that fit me and
We got stuff for Kaitlyn, gloves,
Yes,
and
yeah.
all that good
Yep.
stuff. Yeah. So
Yep.
we were ready for basically for the rest of the days we were there to be nice and warm and all that
Absolutely.
stuff.
We beat the rush.
Beat the rush. Yeah, I think it was all sold out like the next day by 11 or so because it was so cold. Yep. We got pictures with Santa,
Yeah,
of
we did.
course.
Yeah, just made lots of it, took lots of advantage of the photo pass.
Mm-hmm. Very Merry has, nowadays they have like magic shots.
Yeah.
You can do specifically for Very Merry. There's merchandise available for specific Very Merry. Usually they didn't have it this past couple of years because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
There is usually treats you can get specifically for the Very Merry party. I don't know if we did any of that when we were there. We weren't really sure what we were doing.
Yeah.
At this one, it was just kind of go and hi Santa and watch the parade and go on some rides.
We researched a little bit. We knew that we wanted to see what that was all about, but yeah, I mean, we went in with low expectations because we just didn't know what the heck we were doing, which is fine. Like, again, sometimes those are the best memories and the best experiences. You don't have a bunch of expectations. You just go with the flow and see what happens and have a grand old time.
Yep. And then the next day, we were at the Contemporary, and you can't stay at the Contemporary without having breakfast at Chef Mickey's.
Of course. One of the finest character dining experiences around.
At least once.
Yes.
We've gone a couple of times, and I think we're actually probably done with that character experience.
Yeah.
In my opinion, there are better character breakfasts out there. The atmosphere is awesome, though. You're in the Contemporary. You can see the monorail going by. Mickey and Minnie and Goofy have their cute little chef outfits on. It's fun.
It's loud though.
It's very loud. You're in an airplane hangar.
Yeah. Yeah. You're in the middle of that giant A-frame. Like you have trains going by.
Yep.
It's to a certain degree a big echo chamber.
Yeah.
But
it's fun to see the characters in their chef outfits.
It is, absolutely.
And it's the standard breakfast fare. The eggs, waffles, bacon, sausage, stuff like that. Yep. And it's a buffet style.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now they're doing the family style. They bring it to you. But pre-pandemic times, it's a buffet style.
Yep. And I think they're starting to do away with the family. Like they're starting to move some of those
back to buffet
as well. So yeah, and then we went into Magic Kingdom for the day, just kind of getting these out of the way. We had lunch at Liberty Tree Tavern, which is kind of it's Thanksgiving meal for lunch, if you will. They do dinner there as well. And then we had dinner at the Plaza Restaurant. Just in general, we have amazing pictures from this day because nobody was in the park.
Yeah, it was empty. We saw, let's see, I have a parade. We saw the Move It, Shake It, Celebrate It parade.
Yes. Yes. When you go to Disney these days, you're fighting for a position to even see the parade at all. This was like everybody was well spaced out and like there was hardly anybody on the parade route. So we were just like right there front and center. In fact, it was so kind of like dead. The last float was the
Incredibles float, it looks
Incredibles
like.
float.
Yeah.
And Mr. Incredible just hopped down and he was like mingling with people at the back of the parade route. I got my picture with Mr. Incredible next to the float because they were just
That's right. He just
chilling.
Yeah, I see him. We have a picture here of Mr. Incredible on the float, flexing and posing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then a couple frames later, he's down off of the float, walking around. And then there's a picture of Nathan thumbs up and Mr. Incredible thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Getting photobombed by somebody on the float there.
Yes.
I love cast members.
After that, looks like we did Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
We got some pictures in front of the castle. And it was it was so cold that day.
It was
cold and windy. I see hair flying everywhere. I have very fine hair, and Kaitlyn did at that age as well. And there's just pictures of us very windblown, hoods up, gloves on. It was cold.
It was cold.
Yep.
It was a beautiful day. It was, there's
bright,
a few clouds,
sunny.
but it was mostly sunny and it was great. But yeah, it was just cold, but that didn't deter us.
Exactly.
We hit all the rides.
Yes.
And pretty much everything was a walk on. Like you were not waiting to go on any of these rides.
It was a nice ideal walk on day for rides. Yeah, I see Haunted Mansion. We went over to Mickey's Toontown Fair.
Rest in peace.
Went through the houses, Mickey's house and Minnie's house.
This is where Disneyland still has a one-up on Disney World.
For Toontown.
Toontown still exists in California.
It's closed for refurb now, though, or about to be.
But it still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. This got bulldozed.
Yep. Lots of pictures within Mickey and Minnie's house.
Well, there was nobody, like, you weren't getting herded through the place trying to get, people through so they could see.
That's true. Yeah.
I think, wasn't there a photo op at the end or something like that? I don't quite remember, but you had time to just soak in all of the details.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Really, really enjoyed it. I love the theming back there. Like, it was cool. Well done. And Minnie's house. So Mickey and Minnie aren't married? They have different houses.
They do have different houses.
Huh.
I'm not sure if there's been anything official from Disney on it. I don't think they are.
Interesting. Interesting. Huh. And Pluto's just like a...
Pluto is Mickey's dog.
Oh, that's a good point.
Minnie had a cat, I think. I don't know. We'd have to look up.
Do research?
Do research.
No, let's not do that. Let's just wing it. Let's just wing it. I love all the artwork that was in Minnie's house, though.
We did People Mover as well.
Which is an amazing ride.
Yeah, I love People Mover. And we were very surprised as we were going through it. We saw that the lights were on in Space Mountain.
Which is like shocking.
But it was still going.
Yeah, it was. It was still running. I don't know what
running.
they were obviously fixing something
Yeah.
and the lights were on. But so we have a whole bunch of pictures of the inside of Space Mountain from the People Mover.
In a video, yeah. I remember we actually rode the People Mover twice because we weren't prepared for Space Mountain lights being on the first time. We were like, what? Oh my gosh. So we had to watch it. We had to go through again just so we could get the pictures.
And then we actually went on Space Mountain. We rode at Space Mountain and they had the lights on.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I do. I remember feeling I was going to get decapacitated.
Decapacitated. Yes, I remember feeling like we'd be decapitated just because of the illusion of the tracks being so close to your head.
And I've never raised my arms on that ride ever again. Even in the dark. I'm just like, nope.
We stayed pretty late that night too.
We did. Towards the end of the night, this was the night, we rode. Kaitlyn just had the roller coaster bug hard.
Oh, that's right.
And we rode
Space Mountain like 5 times in a row. I know it was at least 4.
So then we did Big Thunder 3 and then we did Space Mountain 4 and she wanted to go again. And I think you and I were just like,
no, I can't do it again. I love roller coasters so much, but I couldn't do it again. We were starting to get, after doing Big Thunder so many times in a row and then Space Mountain so many times in a row, I'm like, my tummy needs a rest.
Mm-hmm. And then we have some amazing pictures of our little family in front of the castle, all lit up with its icicle lights, and there's nobody else in the picture.
There's nobody else in the picture. Yeah.
We got some pictures on Main Street USA. There's a few people there, but it was largely empty. That was a really cool night to be there.
It was. And that was our last night there.
Yep. And we flew home the next day. So I would say our pro tip, our recommendation would be, if you can schedule your trip to Disney World when it's going to be a surprise cold snap that nobody else can plan for.
Good time to go.
Go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. I think that wraps it up for this week. We will talk to you again next time.
Please remember, we are not travel agents. And while we can offer our opinions and suggestions, we do recommend working with a travel agent to procure your perfect vacation.
If you have questions or suggestions, just send us an email at podcast@adventuresinmousecapades.com. And of course, follow us on social media. We're everywhere you want to be at Our Mousecapades. And then lastly, if you could do us a favor, give us a 5-star review. I'm going to pressure you just like the car salesman. We need a 5-star review from you in your favorite podcast app or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you find us. Please give us a big old thumbs up and help us reach a few more listeners. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.